We're at MacTech with Dennis, checking out some of your products. Now, I'm familiar with MacTech. I've seen a lot of your great stuff. You guys have some new products. But let's just talk a little bit about what you guys do for LEDs. There's lots of different versions of LEDs, everything from small lights to the large lights that I'm seeing here. And, sometimes large lighting is sometimes where we suffer. Still trying to be able to crank out a great deal of light over a large area is a difficult thing. You sometimes still have to drag in large, heavy and really powerful lights to crank that out.
Right.
You guys are approaching it saying we've got some efficient things. Let's just cram a bunch of LEDs and make it really large.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about your product line.
Well, has been in our wheelhouse, the large format lighting for replacing sky pans and space lights. That was one of our main focuses to get into the business 3 or 4 years ago, and because those old technologies use so much power, they require so much AC, you're running heavy cable in order to power them, and we came with a solution where you're taking one of our largest fixtures, the 960 LS, and you're powering it with a stinger. It's drawing 10 amps, and it's going to replace 2.5 to 3 6K space lights. So when you are looking at a studio environment or a warehouse, or if you're going on location in an office building and you can plug that into house power, it makes a lot of sense for DPs and gaffers and productions. A lot of cost savings there. They don't have to bring in extra air conditioning, extra generators, and so that's what really has gotten us established, is being able to accomplish those large format power hungry units. And from there, we develop our whole line of tube technology, all the way down to now we're introducing our Artist Series flat panels at the show. So we're trying to accommodate the need for lighting a huge stage, all the way down to someone who needs a light portable unit to travel with.
So your tube design is very familiar for those that have used fluorescent-based lights.
Right.
But it's still unique in its design.
Right.
As much as it is a tube LED, you've taken that into a unique direction by both allowing you to bounce and also a new approach to bicolor. So tell
Correct.
us a little bit about that.
What we're introducing at the show here is called our flip tube, and it uses the same diodes as our COLH diodes that we're using in our new technology, our dual array tubes. But the nice thing about these tubes is that you have tungsten on one side, you rotate it in the tombstone, and you have daylight. So you can load up this head, and instead of having to swap tubes out, if you decide you want to go with a daylight look, all you have to do is manually rotate the tubes. You don't have to carry an extra set of tubes, and you get the same output as the same quality of light, and there's no compromise with it.
Right, because with most bicolor LEDs, you're dimming between two different sets of LEDs.
Correct.
So you're at one fundamental level, you're half of the output that the light could be.
It's all about real estate.
Right.
You're dedicating real estate to one diode or the other.
Right.
Whereas with this, you can get the punch and still have that bicolor ability.
Right, and you can
the same unit.
It still have that if you want to dial in and just have like a couple tubes of daylight and a couple tubes of tungsten. You want to play around with that color
Right.
temp. You have that option, but you're still cranking out full output the whole way through.
Yep.
So that's great. And then you also have the option for this one here, like we can
Correct.
have an array where they would bounce and be more soft.
Yeah.
Just for interviews and close-ups.
There's enough space in between these tubes that you can rotate the tube this way, and the direction goes to the back, and you would have an ultra white bounce on the back, and the light will come back through, and you can have this beautiful large soft source that you can roll right up into talent, and there's no glare, no heat, really useful light, and has a lot of various uses on a set. And if you need to travel with it, let's say you're shooting one day on set, you're lighting talent there, and the next day you need to travel, you take it on your truck, you want a daylight source, you can take it outside and have a great daylight source that's going to give you a lot of variations on what you can do with it in the same head.
And for the softness of the thing, we talked about power consumption, but also space saving. If you have to have that large source behind there, an HMI, tungsten, whatever it may be, you're still having to have that amount of space. This is incredibly narrow. You're able to have that much output and just put it right against the wall if you need to.
Yeah, it's very economical in that way, and especially with stage space being as valuable as it is, we've developed our ladder light system as well, which is hanging next to me here. But that system replaces sky pans for lighting backings, traditionally lighting backings. And instead of needing 8 to 10 to 15 feet of space to hang the pans and hang your backing, we can move these up because they're so cool. We can move them up 2 feet away from the backing, and we've had productions where they've been able to add an extra set onto their stage because of the real estate they saved just by how they chose to light. So
tell us about your pricing structure, because it's about the fixture size and the bulb type that you're interested in, right?
Yeah, it's the fixtures, the large fixtures are very well priced, and then the tubes are priced separately from that. So if you purchase, you're going to buy the fixture and then decide which flavor of tube you want to have and want to purchase. So.
All right, and then also we talked a little bit about lighting modifiers. There's Velcro on here. What kind of ways can people rig this up?
We've had these rigged with silks. If you want to diffuse it slightly, if you need to control it, we've got a black skirting that can go on it, and we will build diffusion basically trying to accommodate our end user as much as possible. If somebody comes to us and says, I need 50 of these and I need a quarter grid and I need it to be 3 feet deep or 18 inches deep, we can accommodate that. We'll have them built and we'll just add it into our inventory, or you can buy them if you want to.
And some of your smaller fixtures too will work with like traditional Chimera softboxes.
Correct, yeah. The Artist Series lights, we're building diffusion for those in a hard cone version and a soft cone version. And the fronts are going to be sized to a standard Chimera size, small and extra small. So if you already have that inventory, you can repurpose it for these lights, or you can buy new from us.
Okay. So for more information, where can people go check you out?
MacTechLED.com.
Great, thanks for your time.
Great, thank you.
Thanks to our sponsors for making our NAB coverage possible.